Bono igo chiaragire Chinsa Isano na Ibere bono mo gaso na inde kinachio chinga kichingia chogo chiago kumanyia aria agendrete goateka kurwa chinsemo au ime yense yaito ya Kenya aria na kwariganiri ase umugaso orero narianga umuraibenso muske William Ruto ritukuria rero iganyare ko baga kubeka umusoda oria o Sovereign Wealth Fund koba richi ko iriogo chia konekianga ebisakubire bosio na boigo igo uchumi ya Kenya irachie konyara koba keko giterwa abuya nabigo omonchwa omorigereria nerienga kobwatekana nobobe obonge bwage siasa buria bwachakire kona konekiwa ime yorogongo ruagusi igobono abarandia bechikanisa au banyare koba bawesokia na gotebanga mbaganie amasabo abene anyare koba kagokorwa erio wetanga kurwa se obosaria na boigo amaberera aria agesiasa achakire kona konekiwa ime yense ya Kenya nabigo monchwa omorigereria igo abaremi bekemeri gieta ebe murunganerie ebango erio erachia komentwa ase okoni wa wechae eyo ase bagotebanga goikera bono tibaranyora efaida kubotekana no boremi bwekemeri kiugietae ase bakoborie kiombikere ya KTDA igetuguterare ekerengererio ekio gyokocha kobeke bangi yenyia ase kemeri kio gietae igo bono ngokoboria unyara koba ko goikaransa ase teka chinke chirebosio obe nanche Mourice Seretta ngumanya yo asenchera yo goikerano
aya na yatekire chinga kieche ime ya Kisi TV.
Karibu sana umwanchiwa umorigereria kubwatekana no buboi obonge bwa gesiasa obubono bwachakire konekiwa imeye chinsemo au aiga ase orogongo rwa gusi anene mono chiburaburu chiria cyanyerto kobachi konekiwa ase echiro ya Kiumbu ekerokeria umusabara oria bwabarai bekiombe keria gose ensemeria yo kwamereria serikali ya linda mwananchi unyarete kobako gosaganwa oyo mogosiria obugima bwae abange gutegerwa tingoma igo bono abarandia bichikanisa au banyerere ko babagwesokia na gotebanga mbatie gokora amasabo abene irio koenekianga obobe obwo bwanyerere ko babogokea kurugaiga ase orogongo rwa gusi igo banyerere ko bagoteba mbamwaregani umuraibwense muske William Ruto goikerana ase amasabo ayo irio koenekianga ense engima ya Kenya yanyerere ko bakigwetanga kurase kisege kyo kya kisiasa anene mono ekereke ense ya Kenya ikonya kuyariganya gochia ase obochorio bonene bo mwaka ugocha umwaka wechiribu Ibere na 2025 nebere
nchi ya Kenya. Na tunapoomba tumemwalika rais wetu ili aje, yeye ndiye baba wa taifa, baba mkuu wa taifa letu. Ni vema pia ashiriki katika haya maombi ya hii familia ya Wakisii ya Nyamira County ili naye tumuombe ili Mungu amuongoze anapoelekeza nchi hii ili amani idumishwe.
Sincerely, together with all denominational leaders and all the members, say that we will have the peaceful prayer sessions, and that very day that is scheduled, we want to say that whoever who is coming, let that person be a peaceful person. We want to welcome all the church members from across all the religious affiliations.
Na huo mkutano hautakuwa wa siasa, ni mkutano wa maombi, ni mkutano ambapo tunaomba Mungu aguze nyoyo za watu wa kaunti ya Nyamira na pia nchi ya Kenya kuona mwenzake kama ndugu na dada.
Fanya amani na kila mtu ako na uhuru kutembea Kenya vile sheria inaturuhusu. Kama utaki kukua mahali ama kama utaki mtu fulani mahali, wewe usiende mahali kama huyo mtu umtaki. Sisi ile mambo ilifanyika huko Kiumbu hatutaki kuiona hapa. Nyamira is very peaceful. Watu wa Nyamira tunawarudishia asante. There is no woundism in Nyamira.
Nothing of impunity will be allowed that day, and they want to have a very successful session and let the president feel most welcome to Gesema Ward.
Guskausi mwanchwa umorigereria umurai wense umuske William Ruto igo emambia ya rero anyare ko baga kubika SA koba richiko umoswada oria o Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill 2026 iriogo cia kwenne kianga ubunda buria ense ya Kenya irachie kwenyorera kurwa ase ebintu bunabono okonia amabuta gose kunyara koba igekonia ebintu buna tigold igo ebesa iyo irachie koba kigotumikwa abuya ase amatuko are bosio kwana kurwa chinsemo cia amagacho a ikulu ekerare kubeka umuswado iyo koba richiko igo mura ibwense anyare koba kagotebanga eserikali yaye igo irachie kwene kenga kende gionsi keria ense ya Kenya irachie kone gutia chinse chiesikanene mono ubunda buria unabono obwa mabuta igo ebesa iyo irachie kubekwa ase kigancha gie serikali iriyo kwene kiangano nyanabasai ase amatuko arebosio banyarre ko babago konyeka kurwa ase ebesa iyo rarwe asobonda wense ya Kenya.
Ladies and gentlemen, a fund entrusted with the wealth of generations must itself be worthy of that trust. That is why this act places governance, transparency, and accountability at its very heart. The Sovereign Wealth Fund will belong not to my administration, but to the Republic of Kenya. It will be managed according to the law, our constitution, and the enduring interests of the Kenyan people. The Act provides for independent professional management, strong parliamentary oversight, and transparent public reporting and robust auditing. Every shilling must be accounted for. Every decision must be guided by prudence. Every investment must be measured by the legacy it leaves for future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, history seldom remembers nations for resources they possessed. It remembers them for the choices they made with those resources. The nations that achieve lasting prosperity share one defining characteristic. They think beyond the present. They plan in decades, not election cycles. They build institutions that endure across administrations and across generations. Permit me to express my appreciation that today Kenya chooses History, as I said, seldom remembers nations for resources they possessed. It remembers them for the choices they made in the use of those resources. The nations that achieve lasting prosperity share one defining characteristic. They think beyond the present, they plan in decades, not in election cycles, and they build institutions that endure beyond administrations and across generations. Permit me to express my appreciation to the National Assembly and the Senate for the diligence, patriotism, and sense of national purpose with which they have passed this legislation. You have not merely passed laws, you have laid the legislative foundations of a transformation that will outlive every one of us. History will remember you not as the parliament that debated Kenya's future, but one that legislated it into being. These laws will strengthen our financial system, modernize our economy, and lay foundations upon which future generations will continue to build. Today, Kenya chooses that discipline. We choose to save, to invest, to preserve, to
Gukwanira omuswada oyo o Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill 2026 omo waziri wekikancha gie serikali omuske John Badi iganyere ko bagakorera obuya obonge orachie koreta emergency ya Kenya igo anyare ko bakagote banga ebeseyo ekero erachie goikera serikali igo egwizara eyo yekikancha gie serikali erachie ko bageko ennekia ngaya bekire emeroberio ya bene kegima iriyo ko ennekia ya nyarire ko bakegosira abakenya kubwatekana nekerenga kiaye ekerobono obonda obuburarwe ase ense ya Kenya na ko bakibesa burachie ko bogoikirana kubwatekana bono no ko barichiko ko muswada oyo unyata ko bakowetigwa ne bunge enene amo neria ye Senate tigango tora moigo ngaki umugaziro oyo bekiganje ya serikali bono atebirenge bese yuera chikotoka kurwabo ase kiganje kyo ya Sovereign Wealth Fund netie korendwa buyana konekia yanyare ko bakegosira emeroberio au emergency ya Kenya nene mono ase amatuko arebosio.
So it fits that coming together as a country was critical in the furtherance of much needed economic reforms which have been overly delayed. And I had benefit, Your Excellency, of sharing with both of you on how you too wanted the economy of this country to be steered, including the setting up of the National Infrastructure Fund and even this Sovereign Wealth Fund. You too discussed into detail before we lost the late Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And I'm happy that the successor in the party, Dr. Oburu Oginga, has equally been a student of that kind of thinking and is helping you steer the two political formations in the same direction. So, Your Excellency, some of the proposals that are in the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill 2025 are informed by lessons that we have learned and best practices from other countries that have experienced significant economic progress by putting in place economic measures that deliver economic stability or stabilization and optimization of intergenerational transfers. We studied successful models, just to give assurance to the public, from jurisdictions including Norway, Singapore, which I cannot even forget, Saudi Arabia, Botswana in Africa, Nigeria, Kuwait, Qatar, among others. So, Your Excellency, the fund will address three critical imperatives. I don't want to repeat those three imperatives. I think we have spoken about them here during the panel discussion. I just want to mention that from a governance perspective, very robust governance framework has been inbuilt into this act to ensure that its operations are fiscally prudent, subject to the Auditor General, Controller of Budget, Cabinet, and the National Assembly oversight, and guided by the National Treasury's financial assessment, thereby by reinforcing transparency and accountability. To conclude, Your Excellency, I submit that this act is more about economic stabilization. It is more about strategic development and intergenerational equity. Again, I know we have many naysayers who have kept lecturing us on the need to have a sovereign wealth fund only when we have budget surpluses. Let me tell them, the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time to start is right now. Making today the critical window to take action. We must not have or drop excuses.
Woska wosio igo abaremi bekemeri giechae kura chinsemo au emergency ya Kenya baganrete kwe murunganiria ebango enya eyo eserikali ono erachie korusia korwa ase ekemeri ekio giechae ekero erachie gotomwa gochia ase echiro ye chinse chia isiko igo bono abaremi abo banyere kwa bagote bangati bari gochia konyora ebesa iria yo musara gose bonus korwa ase kemerekio giechae esnye eserikali gwetera ase kiombekeria gya Kenya Tea Development Authority KTDA yachire konyara kobage kobeka ebango eyobuna ikerenga gye serikali kire igo bono kera ekiro ikogenda ase chiro ye Chinsa Isano erachie kubuturwa chishiringi Ibere ekero eserikali erachie konekia ng'ang ebangeyo yachakire gukora emirimo igobono abaremi banyere kwa bakuburia ekiombekyo gya KTDA kinyane kwa bagekoenekia tikori kubutura abaremi ebango eyo ekiagera nigo barachie gutuguta chibesa chinyinge no nyambono ekero batari konyora omusara gose bonus esaine korwa ase oburemi bwechae emergency ya Kenya.
Hii biashara yetu ndio imetulea. Hii biashara yetu tumekuwa naye kwa muda mrefu sana, na kwa saa hii imekuwa ngumu. Kwa sababu gani? Majani tunalipwa na kwa kilo shilingi 30. Yule anatuchunia majani kwa kilo tunamlipa kuanzia shilingi 15 hadi shilingi 17. Kutoka hapo tuko hii majani tunaweka fertilizer. Hiyo ni deni nyingine huko factory. Kutoka hapo hii majani inapaliliwa. Mwenye kupalilia shati umulipe. Kwa hivyo tukifanya hii kazi yote mwisho wake tunaona ni hasara.
Majani imeharibika. Imekosa pesa. Serikali ijue sisi tuko na shida ya majani.
Serikali ibadilishe hiyo maneno ya majani, ibadilishe. Matafute pesa na jingine.
We want to tell Tea Board of Kenya, the tea farmer will not pay you 0.8%. In fact, the tea farmer will not pay you any levy, even a cent. We will pay you 0. You will continue staying the way you were staying before. We removed that tax over 10 years ago because we saw it was oppressive to the farmer. You are not going to introduce it back. Number 2, it is illegal because Parliament has not passed it.
Ekero insi ya Kenya egenderete kona kuyarigania gochia ase obochori obonene mwaka ugocha umwaka bwechikura bwechiribu Ibere na 25 na Ibere igo amaberera age siasa agenderete kona koenekwa imeye chinsemo au aiga ase ense ya Kenya ekero bono abange banyere ko bagwesokia na gochaka chi campaign tia mapema bosio yo bochori obuo obonene tonye to batoko enekia amabe wose obobe boria kurwa ase echiro ya Kiombwe kerobono ebibago byonye to babigo akamagena umusabara oria wabaria bale abarai balinda mwana inchi igo obono abarandi abanyere ko babagwesokia na kugikiria yo ase banyere ko bakoboria siasa tiomorembe nyere ko batiko korwa emergency ya Kenya igo bare inse ye Kiombe keria kia National Council Churches of Kenya ase banyere ko bagotebanga nere buya abakenya bonsi bari abakuriya ebirugo by'uburai gotwara omorembe bosio yobochori obwo obanene.
Na tumemshukuru Mungu kwa sababu katika huduma ya mwezi huu watu wengi wametiwa moyo, wagonjwa wametiwa moyo, pale jela wale wafungwa wametiwa moyo na wengi wakamwamini Kristo, na tunataka kumbariki Mungu kwa sababu ya mwezi huu, na tukiwasihi wakaaji wa Kilifi, waumini tuungane pamoja, tustahiane, tuishi kwa amani na tutangamane vizuri kuendelea kuhudumiana sisi kwa sisi.
Kama jumuiya ya makanisa tunasema ya kwamba tuendelee kuhamasisha waumini wetu waweze kuendelea kuishi kwa amani, na tukiomba pia viongozi wetu wa kisiasa waendelee kuwa na uvumilivu, wafanye siasa ambazo za kuleta maendeleo na si za kufuruga watu, wawe na heshima, wavumiliane, wasiwe watu wa kutukanana, maana katika hali hiyo ndio tutazidi kuijenga taifa letu na vijana wetu wataona mfano mzuri.
Tunashukuru kwa zoezi ya leo ambayo tumetamatisha kuhusu juma la NCCK. Kuna mambo ambayo tumeshirikiana katika umoja wa makanisa hapa Kilifi, na tumefanya mambo ya kuweza kuenda hata ndani kwa ajili ya kuweza kuwahudumia mayatima na wajane kwa ajili ya kuwatimizia mahitaji yao kule mashinani kama kule Ganze na Bamba. Tumeenda kuweza kwa
Emerongo Ibere neyamo na kio chitageka chia butukire igoro ye Chinsa Isano na Ibere tia bono mogaso muyamono sana sokoba amonanchia kurwa ekero nagachagete na wikabono ekero na nyarekoba kingo kora aya tekire Chinsa Isano nebere cyumugaso orero kore no mwancho murigarania aya amo nayande amange gendera gotobuatia wetera asemetandao yaito ya kijamii unamono Chinsa mochiria cha Facebook wetera page yaito ya Kisi TV amandegere yomugusi na wego Chinsa mochiria cha YouTube ase channel yaito ya Kisi TV amandegere yomugusi na botambe igo ngokonyoria nga ekero waikira abo ase page yaito ya Facebook inyora ko ye like na wego ekero waikira ase channel yaito ya YouTube inyora go subscribe gabo na okonyora tokobekere taya na yanda mangire ndiko yanyora asenjera yobo ikirano nimero biro yonsi bwanjete korugaiga ase egeteseni eke gya Kisi TV amandegere iyo mugusi umonchwa omurigereria ayande amange igonda chiyo kuyaretere koro chiaragire Chinsa ibere cyo mugoroba orero naboigo Chinsa inye cyo mugoroba orero igon kurari bageri ga kubakera mbuyamono sana bari bonsi baene kiangaya anyare ko bakago goitera ase my super producer nere John Getiro bakobwaterana na Naomi Indugire nabo barekone kyanga chibichechi na mariogia yambiago ikera ase enchera yobo ikera nukegima nakoganeri otuare oburigereria obuyana koganerie omugaso omotoereru iriane botambe Mourice Seretta
aya na yatekire chinga kiechi ime ya Kisi TV Tanga na intwe aso mutandao wetera Instagram amo na Twitter @Kisi Television tonyore YouTube na Facebook